Hey guys, it's Johan and hope you're well, my friends. Now, I'm excited to announce that the next 10 episodes are going to be recorded in this sensational studio in Melbourne, but without the support of our sponsors, we couldn't make this happen, guys. And I'd like to thank Mario Soroka from Loan Market, who has been the major sponsor for the next 10 episodes, guys. So if you guys can support these businesses as well, if you are seeing it on Spotify, look at the description tab, see what these businesses are all about. And if you are watching this on YouTube, guys, have a look at the description tab and see what businesses have come on board to support this great cause. But apart from the sponsorship, guys, I think one of the most coolest and remarkable thing, we've been able to raise enough funds that not only could we support this 10 episodes in this fabulous studio, but we're able to help a local charity group in Melbourne. And I've got a deep connection to this group. A personal friend runs this organization. It's the Gladys Nicholas Hostel Group in Northcote, which provides special and emergency accommodation to the Aboriginal community for kids under 16. And, this guy has put literally his life on the line and on the side to help children in need. So truly appreciative to be part of it as well, guys. And if you are watching this on YouTube, guys, if you can like, subscribe, and share this content with some family and friends, I'll be truly, truly appreciative. So today, guys, we're going to talk about a particular topic that has a lot of meaning to my life. And more importantly, what I really want to get in front of you guys is that in the last 5 years, I've been able to transform the way I live. And I wish I could say it's been an easy transformation where I just woke up one day and everything changed, like with radical change. But I believe that when you want to change your life, and it doesn't matter what part, could be financially, fitness, whatever the case may be, you need to change the person that you once were and completely become a new person. And I believe the first step that I took in order to get radical change was to become a different person by instilling a lot of new good habits within my life. So, when we talk about habits, people don't specify what habits are. People usually say, we've got to create some habits. But there is a big difference between negative and good habits. So if you don't know which ones are which, check this out. So negative habits are basically any habits that you've got in your life that are currently not serving you with any purpose. Now, things like smoking, drinking, cheating on your spouse, running late to appointments, not keeping your word, not being consistent in terms of waking up at a certain time every morning. Maybe you don't have a morning routine. Maybe you don't have a nighttime routine. Whatever the case may be, if you have these habits in your life and they're not serving your purpose, you've got to change these habits. And I believe, unfortunately, that most people think they can't change their current habits or the way they live. And I also think that people are not really aware of the current negative habits that you have in place are not serving you well. And unfortunately, when I coach a lot of people, one thing that always makes me interested is that people want change, but they don't realize that in order to get change, they need to become a totally different person. And now you've got a bit of an understanding on this. I really want to share my story, a bit of a reflection. And more importantly, guys, I want to share with you my old bad habits and how I've instilled new habits into my life. And more importantly, the change that has served me well has not only changed my life, guys, it's helped my family, my wife, and my local community as well. And now I'm living a life with purpose. Every day is a lot of fun in my life, guys. I make money, I have fun, I can help a lot of people as well. And more importantly, I'm living the life that I have designed for myself. But it really started from being able to change my habits. So a quick story, guys. If you're just seeing me for the first time, you might go, this guy's confident. You might, whatever the case your thoughts might be. But the reality is, guys, if you met me about 5 years ago, I was literally a complete different person. I was untrustworthy. I was arrogant. And I also believe I didn't live a life of really good intentions. And I could honestly say as well, I wasn't always happy. I was very anxious, I was very stressed, and I was always panicky. And I think what was happening, guys, was I thought that over time things would naturally happen and change, that I would get better, right? But I only had the ability and thought of pattern to change was when my dad truly passed away. And when he passed away, I realized that how short life is, number one. And number two, we talked a lot of things before he passed. And the one thing that he did say to me was that he shared his regrets in life. And he thought things would have happened to him automatically. And I straight away, just like a click of a button, I said to myself, I really need to change the person who I am as of this day. And, just before he passed, I started changing the way that I was living by creating new habits and changing my habits. And it hasn't been easy, guys. It's been a lot of work, but the work and the reward is so great that if I could go back in time, I wouldn't ask for $1 million or $2 million. I'll be asking for radical change through habit change. So what have been some of my bad habits? I'll probably say my work ethic wasn't always there. So, I'd always have a job, but I didn't really know what I wanted, and I wasn't willing to do the extra mile in order to achieve what I wanted to achieve. So basically, once you hit 5 o'clock, I'll be done and dusted. And throughout the whole 9 to 5 process, I wasn't really happy at all. That's number one. Number two, I've always been naturally thin, right? But I'd probably really say in the last 4 years, as soon as I started changing, my philosophy changed, where I started to feel like really different and really better. And my body changed. And what I've noticed is that every time I committed to training physically, my mental state improved, which means that I was taking very seriousness on myself, and I started to develop a habit of pattern. The other thing that was really quite bad, guys, was this. I used to lie a lot in order to get things done and done to my standards and my ways. So I used to lie to my wife, I used to lie to my work colleagues, and even customers as well. I wasn't a trustworthy person. And apart from being externally rude and bad to people, inside I was really killing myself because I wasn't really happy with the person who I was, right? So there's some of the few bad habits I had in my life. And I know they might sound basic. You might say, look, man, you don't smoke, you don't do this or you don't do that. But that's not the point. The point is that these bad habits that I previously had in my old life were really causing me a lot of problems and a lot of grief and a lot of challenge and a lot of anxiety, right? So then you say, okay, that sounds great, but what are some of your good habits that you've instilled? So just to give you the opposite ultimatum, when it comes to work, I'm very, very, very focused. I've got 2 successful businesses. I'm part of a logistics business where I run the whole commercial team, right? And I get paid really, really good money, and I can work minimal hours because I'm super focused in the hours that I've set. I don't take any minute for granted. In fact, my day runs on a full calendar basis where every minute counts. So I'm there with purpose. And secondly, when I work, I'm not just doing it for an income. I'm also doing it to help and serve other businesses who need my service. So when I sell to a customer, it's not just to make a quick buck or make some money, because that's all part of it anyway. But the main purpose is to help that other person improve their business or get a promotion or live a better life, whatever the case may be. But really, when I do work now, it's not just for me, it's for other people. And when I go out there and close some deals, it's not just for myself. It's to support the business. It's to employ more employees. It's to ensure that all our current staff are being well paid for the business that we bring on. That is a change of mindset I've had to put on terms of habits. Physically, I wake up at 5 a.m. every day. 5 a.m., right? And, sometimes I'll go to gym at 5, sometimes at 5:30, depending on what's happening, right? But I'm always going gym at least 5 days a week, non-negotiable. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday are my gym days. And I'm getting to a stage where on Thursdays and Sundays, where I'm meant to be resting my body, I really feel I need to go out there and just do some sort of big exercise as well, right? And now I've noticed, because I've stuck to that commitment and I've really built a really good habit, my whole life has completely changed. I'm more energetic, I'm more happier, and I've got a lot more confidence within myself because I can keep some promises. So that's another thing too. In terms of relationships and trust, I've got a philosophy in life and a mantra, if you call it, I will not lie. I would rather tell the truth and hurt someone's feelings than lie to keep them happy. And I've also noticed because of that, in the way I do business now too, I'm very transparent. I know which clients to target. I know which clients not to target. And it saves me a lot of time, grief, and frustration. It saves me up a lot of bad energy, right? So now that sounds great, I've made all these new habits. So now you're probably asking, okay, what changes have occurred from that? Honestly, guys, the last 4 or 5 years have been incredible, but I'll probably say in the last 12 months to 18 months in particular, I've seen some massive radical change. I'm working on a financial goal which is bigger than me and my wife, right? And there's a purpose to that, which we'll explore and show and tell in other episodes. And this purpose or drive has become so big in my life that it's been my main purpose for life. I don't feel like I'm wasting anything. This is why I do this, guys, to help you guys. But more importantly, my purpose is so big that I don't want anything to change at this present time. I don't let any bad things or habits come back into my life. So that's been one of the big things that has happened in the last 6 months. Like I said again, physically, guys, I feel sensational. I'm 39 now and I feel better than what I did when I was 25. I feel absolutely amazing. My mindset is absolutely strong, bulletproof strong. I don't get anxiety anymore. I don't get depression. I don't even get stressed out really anymore. I don't even panic. Even though we're running 2 businesses and we've got a lot of other things in the background, I'm not stressing at all because my purpose and why is so big, and I've built these really healthy habits in that as well. And also, guys, on another thing as well, financially, what my wife and I have been able to achieve in the last 8 to 12 months, we've achieved more in 8 to 12 months than we have in 3 or 4 years. So when you've got good habits in place, guys, you start to build radical momentum to change your life. And when you change your life, not only are you going to feel great inside, your family, your wife, your spouse, your husband, whatever the case may be, are going to see the changes. Your work colleagues are going to notice the change. Your friends are going to notice the change. And through that process, you're going to meet some incredible people who are going to serve a purpose in your life. And that comes through positive habits. So now you know my story and you must be thinking, that sounds great, Johan, but how do I actually do this? And I've got 5 steps. And I've got 5 little steps that if you follow this, and if you can get a pen and paper right now and write these 5 little steps, and you can do this on a regular basis, you're going to get some good wins in your life. Number 1 is start small. So what I mean by that is if you want to wake up at 5 a.m. but you currently wake up at 7 a.m., it's not going to work if you work at 5 a.m. straight away. You might do it once or twice, but you'll give up. Just start waking up at 6:30. Wake up that half an hour early. And after 3 or 4 weeks, once you're used to it, then you can wake up a little bit earlier again. And then after 3 or 4 weeks again, you can start that process again and get closer to that 5 o'clock dial. A perfect example was, when I started training for physical fitness and to be strong, I didn't just go into heavy weights straight away. I literally started with very, very light weights because I knew that if I went too hard straight away, I'm either going to get, body damage, I'm going to pull a muscle, and more importantly, mentally, I'll get over it. But because I started small and because I've been consistent, I've noticed that every day I set myself a little challenge to achieve that greatness of doing a bit more weights, right? Second step is you got to have a why. Everyone wants success and everyone wants radical change and happiness, but you must attach a why that is bigger than you. So I think personally, just saying that I want $5 million for myself, it's not big enough. And I'm not talking about the numerical value. I'm talking about the reason why, right? Like for me and my wife, we've got a goal that we want to serve our community, which is our church. So our goal is very attached to that outcome. And because of that, I would be saying, whatever my goal is now, I want to double it so I can give half of that achievement to a church. And you can see the energy and the physiology change. You can see the confidence come out because I've got a big why now. So you must have a big why. Number 3, you've got to change your environment. And we'll talk about this on the 3rd episode. We're going to talk about why your environment will matter when you're trying to build healthy habits. But we'll talk about that more specifically later on. Number 4, specificity. There's no point just saying, I want to start training well just to look good. I want to train well just so I can lose some weight. I want to start working hard to be rich. You got to have specificity attached to your goal. And that's when you're going to find the right habits. Your mind's going to work into that notion. So what I mean by that, guys, is this. If I want to learn how to run long distances, there's no point saying I want to run long distances. I've got to choose. Is it 10 kilometers at a time, 5 kilometers at a time? What is it? So choose and make a decision on what you want specifically, okay? The final part is this, and I think this is one of the most vital parts. I believe you got to be very, very accountable to yourself. You can't always have excuses in your life for why you're not achieved something. You know, like if you want to lose weight, you want to make some money, whatever the case may be, you've got to stop using the same story you've been telling yourself all this time. And I used to do that too, guys. You know, I used to say, maybe it's the household I grew up in. You know, my dad was an alcoholic. Maybe it's that. I don't know. I used to use so many different reasons, but sometimes you just got to wake up, guys, and change that story. And you're going to say, guys, I've had enough of that old story, and this is the story I want to create. So I don't really talk about my past in a negative way. I acknowledge it and I embrace it. But the most important thing is to look forward, and it's to change your story. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed the first episode that's being recorded in this wonderful studio, guys. And over the next several weeks, we're going to be delivering more and more better content so we can help you guys who are watching and listening, to help our community. And more importantly, guys, just for you guys to change. That's all I want out of this. I want you guys to just, be a bit better. And that's all I want, guys, out of this. Nothing else, nothing more. So guys, take care. Have an amazing week. And guys, after watching this, please subscribe, because the next episode, I'm going to be talking about something that's going to be very, very interesting. And we're going to talk about your environment. And I'm not talking about hot and cold weather. I'm talking about the environment that you live in. So take care, guys, and speak soon.